yo, it's your boy Radical coming back at you with another reaction video. Yo, so check this out. YouTube recommended me this video. After watching it for like a good 3 minutes, I was like, I have to react to it. This joint is crazy. Just by the mere fact of just you know, first of all, shout out to, you know, rest in peace to Shorty. I'm saying, Shorty look good, all that, but just how certain things went down, I was like, yo, I gotta make a reaction video to this. All right. So here we go.
On September 24th, 2021, sheriffs in Orange County, Florida, get a call from a worried mother.
All right. First of all, Orange County, Florida. That's crazy. I thought there was only one Orange County, but apparently there's like more. I thought that was only in California, but there's one in Florida. All right, cool. Let's see.
She says her daughter, 19-year-old college student Miya Marcano, is missing.
Miya was scheduled to fly home to Fort Lauderdale to see family for the weekend. The last her family had heard from her, Miya was getting off of work and headed home to pack the rest of her things and wait for the Uber to head to the airport.
Miya's plane left Orlando at 8:50 p.m., but when it landed in Fort Lauderdale, she wasn't on it.
My son texted me and he said that, Dad, we can't find Miya. I said, what do you mean you can't find Miya? And he told me that, you know, he's been calling her and everybody's been calling her and her phone is just going to voicemail.
A young 19-year-old not ever far from her phone, right? It's unusual that she's not answering, so family are now frantic, wondering where is she?
I sent her a text message through WhatsApp, and on WhatsApp you can see if a message was delivered or, you know, if it was read or anything like that. And the message that I sent was not going through. So I automatically knew that something was wrong.
Miya Marcano was born on April 26, 2002. She was the second child of South Florida DJ Marlon Marcano and his wife, Emma Scarborough.
Holding my baby girl for the first time was one of the greatest feelings ever in life. I mean, the bond from day one was just unbreakable.
One thing I'm gonna say this. The bond that a father has with their kid, but especially their daughter, bro. That's a bond that, yeah, people who don't have kids probably won't ever know. You probably understand when y'all do. I'm telling you, that bond when you have with a father has with, it's crazy. It's unbreakable. That little girl will basically think of the world of her dad. You know what I'm saying? And the dad is going to do whatever he takes, move heaven and hell and earth just to make sure she okay. You feel me? The fact that something went wrong, that's parent intuition right then and there, automatically, you know, they going into, like, you know, protect mode. You know what I'm saying? By the mere fact that he's saying that there was a bond, or you already know. And this is what I'm talking about when parents actually be like, when parents are actually parents. I'm not talking about no deadbeat type of situation. Like, I'm not talking about that. But anyway, let's keep it going.
She grew up in the city of Pembroke Pines. That's where she did her elementary, middle school. After her mom and I got divorced, her mom moved back to the Virgin Islands. And, you know, certain summers, the kids will go down there.
Oh, they're from the Caribbean. All right, shout out to them. You know, they say Virgin Islands. I was gonna say Barbados or something. All right, shout out to them. You know, they're from the Caribbean. All right, cool.
You know, spent a few months. Miya did a couple semesters of schooling over there, and then she came back here to Florida and she finished up high school.
One thing, well, damn, she, you know who she looked like? She looked like what that girl, like one of them girls from TLC. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, or she looked like damn, I forgot her name. Oh man, Aaliyah. There you go. She kind of got that Aaliyah vibe. Anyway, um, funny thing is, like the dad said, she went to school in the Virgin Islands, and she came back in the school in the States. I'm telling you, them don't sleep in them island schools. Island schools actually do real good. All right, let's keep it going.
Miya loved many things. She liked to model, dance, cheerlead. She enjoyed music, hip hop, soca, calypso, which made sense because her dad was a really well-known DJ. And so music was an integral part of her life.
She grew up to be, a child of love that would just light up any room that she walked into.
But like many students her age, Mia's high school experience was disrupted by COVID-19.
When we were in the heart of COVID. So for Mia's senior year, she missed out on prom. She missed out on the senior trip, and she missed out on graduation. So after all that hard work, you don't even get to walk and celebrate. At the end was, it played a toll on her.
Damn, that sucks. That's great. And we all know when we got locked down, we know that, that played a toll on everybody. You know what I'm saying? But it played a toll on a lot of kids. That's crazy. And I know some especially some girls, they look forward to going to graduation. They look forward to stuff like that, something special for them. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why it would be something like, damn. All right, let's keep it going.
Miya hoped college would be different. But the pandemic continued through her freshman year.
She had an apartment and she shared it with 3 other roommates at that time. And it was a whole semester went by and she didn't even see the campus of school. Everything was done online.
When the campus reopened in the fall of 2021, Miya decided to make a few changes.
Initially, her goal was to do nursing, but then she didn't want to go through all the extra long years of nursing, so she switched over to sports medicine.
Instead of getting a dorm, Miya decided to get an apartment off campus where she also worked in the leasing office to help pay for her studies because she was able to get a discount on rent.
She handled.
Oh, shout out to that. All right. Get a discount on rent and you working at the leasing office? Okay. Also, going to her major, talking about, sports medicine and all that. Believe it or not, she could get a job at the Olympics, NFL, MLB. I'm telling you, them sport medicine people, they do it. It encompasses a lot. You could be a trainer, rehab people, give medicine advice, learn how to help people with recovery. I'm telling you, that career right there, is pretty huge. It's pretty lucrative too. And I'm sorry Shorty didn't have the opportunity to do it. That's crazy. Let's keep it going.
A lot of the phone calls. She did have to go and do apartment checks when it came to making sure the apartments were ready for the new tenants that were moving in, but she did more office work.
By September 2021, Miya had settled into her new routine and was looking forward to the new school year. But now Miya has suddenly vanished, and her family is afraid something has happened to her.
Her mom, who is Emma, and she's in the Virgin Islands, she actually calls the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and she requests what we call a welfare check because she hasn't heard from her daughter.
At 10:07 p.m., an Orange County Sheriff's deputy arrives at Miya's apartment in Orlando. The family had already called Miya's roommate to meet the deputy there.
Her mother, Emma, tells the deputy, please stand by because her roommate is leaving work, coming by the apartment, and she'll get you inside. The roommate shows up. They actually go inside the apartment, but when they get to her room, the door's locked.
Miya's roommate says that's not unusual. She always locks her door when she goes home for holidays. Luckily, Miya's bedroom has a window they can get to from the back of the apartment.
They were able to look inside the window, and the police officer said that it looked like a normal teen's room.
However, something seems out of place.
The deputy notices that the window for her bedroom, which is not locked, and he can actually push it open into the room. The roommate acknowledged that that was extremely unusual because her father, when she moved in, had put locks on all the windows, and these aren't just normal locks, they're very difficult to remove.
Uh-oh. The plot thickens. Uh-oh. Them locks, I'm not gonna lie, I got locks like that in my crib too. They're not easy to take off, you know what I'm saying? It's a special, not a key, but a special tool that you need just to take it off. You know those Allen keys? That's basically what you need, just to take it off. But that is not something easy to I got that. You know what I'm saying? You can't open it from the outside or inside. You need you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy right there. That tells me a lot.
I just wanted the lock so that the window would not be able to go up past a certain height. So she can open the window, she wanted fresh air, but nobody could stick their head through the window.
Those locks are now broken.
The roommate's talking with family members, and so they suggest that she enters the room through the window. The roommate checks with the deputy, gets his authorization to do so, because at this point, we really don't have a crime that's being investigated. It's simply a welfare check on someone. So the roommate crawls through the window with the assistance from the deputy.
When Miya's roommate gets inside, she makes another discovery.
She told us on the phone that what she saw, which was the bookshelf that she had in her room jammed up against the bedroom door.
Yo. Bro. That tells me that she was running from somebody. She didn't want nobody to come in. You know what I'm saying? And she needed either to escape, and that's why them joints are broken. I don't know. But that tells me, damn. That's crazy. Now it's getting interesting. Let's see what happens.
So automatically that told me that if her door is jammed, there's no way that she left through that door. She had to leave through the window.
The question is why. After moving the bookcase, Miya's roommate helps the deputy search the room for more clues.
The bed's, not made up, but they don't really notice anything initially out of the ordinary, but eventually they do find clothes that are in a backpack, and it appeared to be the clothes that she was going to take with her to the plane, so they were there. And also the teddy bear that she normally doesn't leave without if she goes anywhere.
Yo. First of all, that's one thing that tells me something. Why is the Apple Watch there? Usually you always keep a watch around. You just don't put an Apple Watch on your luggage just to use on vacation. That's stupid. Why is your Apple Watch there? You know what I'm saying? That tells me nobody wanted her to be tracked. You see what I'm saying? Also, very interesting, if she's escaping from somebody and she needed to go to the airport, why is she leaving her luggage there? And she's escaping from the window. It looks like that luggage doesn't even seem that crazy heavy. It's like a backpack. It is what it is. Like, yo, that I don't know. Let's see.
That was something that was very important to me. They knew that something was not right when they saw the teddy bear.
The deputy files a missing person report, adding Miya's name to the national database. But for now, they cannot start a formal investigation.
We don't really have enough information, at least in my opinion, as a former law enforcement officer, to establish that a crime has been committed, although there are some red flags, associated with this.
Miya's
See, I don't like that, bro. If you know somebody is missing and it's weird. You're seeing that her luggage is there. The locks are broken. Something's jammed up against the door. What y'all think is gonna? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Obviously something happened. So why not put her missing? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's just keep it going. Let's go.
loved ones don't agree, so they decide to take matters into their own hands.
That's right.
Family members know another family member. They know the signs.
And it was like, we need to activate now.
He said we need to activate. My man, yo, that family, they transform like Voltron, coming in together, arm, leg, head. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. And this is the thing. A lot of families, they will do things that the police won't do or won't care to do until they get enough evidence and they actually start doing it. And then by that time, it's going to be too late. You feel what I'm saying? So let's see.
We just jumped in the car and took off to Orlando.
The family of missing 19-year-old Miya Marcano is worried about her disappearance. So they make a late-night drive from Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, Florida, to conduct their own investigation.
We got to Orlando roughly, I would say 2:45, 3 a.m. in the morning. I didn't have a key to the apartment, but I was in contact with her roommates. And as soon as I got there, I called her and she came and opened the apartment for me. We went into the apartment with gloves on because we knew not to touch anything.
When they went into Mia's room to look around, they knew immediately that something was not right because Miya was an extremely neat person. It didn't matter where Miya was gone, the time of the day. When she left, her bed was always made. Her room was always neat.
We noticed, her jewelry was broken on the floor. Her bed was shifted.
The type of jewelry that it was very difficult to break. It was not something that would just fall on the floor and break. They knew that it must have been some type of struggle. They also saw a box cutter. That was another sign. They knew Miya did not own a box cutter.
Oh, wait. Wait a minute. You telling me the family found all of this, but the police couldn't? You telling me that the police just said, all right, a shelf, broken locks on windows, we out. What? The family is finding evidence that the police, bro, what kind of, don't trust the Orange County police, son. Yeah, hire this family because they'll find evidence that goes missing. God. All right, Jesus.
That was not hers. Miya that would not be her weapon of choice.
The family spots something else the police officer missed during the welfare check. A blood stain on Mia's pillow.
Bro. These police missed everything. They're only gonna tell us they missed a blood splatter on the ceiling. Like, come on, dude, nah, bro.
The blood was in plain eyesight, but we couldn't determine if it was fresh or how long it was there.
They're becoming convinced that someone has abducted Miya, but she doesn't have any enemies they know about.
We were talking and, we're trying to find out, who does she have any problems with? Has she been complaining about anything or anybody? And her roommate mentioned that the only person that she can think about was this guy named Armando.
The man Mia's roommate is referring to is Armando Caballero, a 27-year-old maintenance worker at the apartment complex.
With her bubbly personality, Miya had no difficulty making friends at work, and she caught the eye of one of her coworkers, Armando Caballero. Initially, Miya and Armando exchanged text messages. They were friendly, but over time, Armando became a little more insistent than Miya would have liked.
Here it goes. Number one suspect. Here it goes. Don't tell me that this dude, because he got rejected by Shorty, he's feeling some type of way. Damn. I mean, yo, you really you're gonna take.
Mia's roommate shows them copies of the texts Miya had forwarded to her, and some of them are quite alarming.
There was a time when some of the text messages that he was sending her got a little too personal, maybe even a little offensive to her. One very inappropriate text that he sent her that had sexual overtones in it that seemed to really upset her.
The roommate says Miya politely turned Armando down, but that didn't seem to stop him.
There were some instances of him attempting to send her money that she didn't ask for and did not want.
Bro, listen, for all y'all Sims out there, if a female don't like you, she don't like you, bro. It is what it is. Charge that to the game and move on. You don't have to keep on looking at Shorty, stalking her, sending her $600. If any men, listen, if any female out there stops talking to you and then talks to you again after you send them money, they not for you. You see, they looking at you as a walking ATM. What is this dude doing? Listen, what he needed to do is first of all, you don't, the last thing you do is try to get with a shorty at your job. That's the last thing you do. If something happens, y'all break up, it's gonna be wild awkward at work. Come on now. And right now, females got wild power. They could literally go up to the boss and be like, "Hey, yo, he wasn't. We never dated. He was touching me. You know what I'm saying?" And you could get the hell up. And they could fire you. So what I'm saying is, just charge it to the game. It is what it is. Now you're getting rejected by Shorty. Now you feel some type of way. Who cares? Who cares? But what that simpness in some men be letting them crash out. I'm telling you.
She would reject the money and send it back to him, and he would in turn send it back to her. His whole rationale that he told her for doing that is that he had saved that money, and I believe it was about $600 to take her out to wine and dine her with. But when she was resistant to his advances, he said, "Go ahead and use it for whatever you need to use it for."
What kind of wine and dine is 600? God, are you taking Shorty around the world? Like, what's going on? $600. Yo, I haven't been in the dating game in a long time. I'm just saying. I remember the most I ever spent on a date was $50. And that was the most. Like, apparently his conversation game ain't apparently not that great. All you gotta do is be charismatic and learn how to talk to women. That's all it is. Just talk. Follow up questions, But damn, $600. What would y'all gonna do? Parachute? After the date? Like, I'm saying, like, nah, that's crazy.
There's some guys that just simply, they're infatuated. They don't want to take no for an answer, and they'll do whatever is in their wheelhouse or what's available to them or what's working for.
After that, Miya made it clear she wanted Armando to leave her alone. But now her loved ones can't help but wonder if he's the reason she's disappeared.
There's a concept in psychology called rejection sensitivity, right? To where people who experience rejection aren't able to have a typical threshold for accepting what that means. This could be the case with Armando as well, where his rejection sensitivity is really low, and so he's not able to interpret the social cues that he's getting from Miya in an appropriate way.
That rejection sensitivity stuff. All right, it's a lot of men that suffer that. I've seen it myself. That's crazy. All right, let's keep it going.
He cannot get over the thought that he is being rejected by this person who he has claimed to be in love with. Once it got to the point where she indicated to him that she was no longer interested in his advances, and we see that he was not taking no for an answer, that is where we get to the point where something more sinister is at play.
Miya Marcano has been missing for less than 24 hours. But the more her family learns, the more they think she's been abducted. So around 4 a.m., they ask police to look at the new evidence they found in Miya's apartment.
We called them back because when we got there, I mean, everything was plain as day that my daughter's in trouble.
We have an Orange County Sheriff's deputy there, and we have a ton of family members there, including her father. So father points out to the deputy that the bed frame has been moved. It's not saying where the impressions are on the carpet. There's a yellow box cutter. The deputy looks at it. There does not appear to be any traces of blood on it. There's a pillowcase on the bed with a drop of blood, but it doesn't look fresh.
To the deputy, it seems less like evidence of foul play than of a family desperate to find answers.
At this point, we really don't know what's happened to her. We just don't know if she's been abducted or maybe she's doing something of her own free will. There's just a lot of possibility at this point in time.
Yo, this, man, to me, that's evidence right there. I don't know why they lollygagging and playing around. To me, that's clear as day. But it seems like they need more. Oh, goddamn. All right. Okay. Let's keep it going.
I can tell you that in missing persons investigations, there is no shortage of individuals that want to get involved, normally for the right reasons. That shows that they love and they care, which I think is great. But it can reach the point where it can become distracting.
They're trying to tell me that, well, no, your daughter's not in trouble. It's a party weekend. She's probably out with her friends. And I mean, I know my daughter. If my daughter wants to go party with her friends, she doesn't have to sneak out her window.
The deputy tells Miya's father he'll add the information to her case file. But there's nothing more he can do for now. Before he leaves, however, a security guard arrives to tell them about a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot.
We automatically just, went outside. And I seen him sitting down in the car. He asked if we were looking for Miya. And my sister asked, well, who are you? And he said his name is Armando.
Damn, that dude Armando. Why would you say that? Are y'all looking for me? Bro. God, this dude Armando, bro. It had to be, they finally meet. All right, let's go.
It's the maintenance worker Mia's roommate told them about, Armando Caballero. But why is he lurking outside Mia's apartment in the middle of the night?
Deputy asked him why he's there. Now, at this time, Armando's talking on the phone to somebody the whole time the deputy's trying to interact with him.
He said he was talking to his coworker, and she told him that Miya was missing. And he was concerned, so he decided to come by and check, because he was an on-call maintenance guy that night.
It seems a reasonable explanation at first.
That makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
But when the family confronts him, he gets defensive.
As of right now, you have sent obsessive texts to Miya. We have all seen the texts. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her gave her life savings? I never
As a
said
matter of
that.
fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case.
What you have to do?
There's evidence of obsession. You're fascinated with
It's
Miya.
not only from my side, so don't try to make this.
No one's saying that. It takes
She's not here to
two.
defend
There's-
herself right now.
Obviously,
so you
she's
gotta talk to
missing.
you.
So we're talking to you, who've been going
Completely
back and
respect
forth
that. I
on
understand
text.
that. That is your family. But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
To diffuse the situation, the deputy separates the parties and talks to Armando alone.
I don't know, bro. He looked wild guilty to me. I don't know. I don't know. The first thing, like, why would you ask if y'all looking for? I don't know. That he looks wild guilty to me. What y'all think? I don't know.
Armando admits he wanted to date Miya, but says he backed off when she turned him down.
How would you describe your
Them $600 doesn't mean you backed off, bro. Come on now.
relationship with her?
It was somewhat flirtatious at first, but then honestly, it was just on some friendship.
Okay.
According to Armando, they were still friends. The last time he saw her was at work around 3 p.m.
The whole time the deputy is talking to Armando, he's on the phone talking to somebody. So eventually, Armando puts the phone on speaker mode so that the deputy can talk to the individual. And the female ended up confirming this to the deputy while she was on speakerphone. And the female actually worked in the same office as her supervisor, actually, and they were friends as well.
Despite the family's suspicions, it seems Armando might be telling the truth. After all, if he had harmed Miya, why would he come back to offer help? But before the night is over, the case takes another unexpected turn.
The security guard said that when he was walking around, he heard some noises in one of the storage units. So we asked if they can see that Armando, he has access to it. Can he go open the unit so that we can make sure, that Mia's not in there?
All right, let's see the storage units. Let's go.
The family of missing college student Miya Marcano have confronted the man they think is connected to her disappearance. 27-year-old maintenance man, Armando Caballero. Strange noises coming from one of the apartment storage units makes them wonder if he stashed her inside.
Armando and the security guard went to the storage unit and they came back and said it was cleared.
The family remains convinced Armando knows more than he's saying. But with no evidence to hold him, at 6:29 a.m., the deputy tells Armando he's free to go. Mia's father isn't happy about it.
The deputy took Armando's information, his name, his address, phone number, and told him to have a good night. I mean, if I'm driving and then I get pulled over for a routine traffic stop, you'll search my vehicle, you'll take me out of the car, you'll do the whole nine, but my daughter's missing and a person of interest is right in front of you and you do nothing.
No, that is true. He is a person of interest, and they didn't do anything, bro. Come on, man. This police These police are lacking, yo. What is going on? They miss wild evidence in her room. The person of interest with wild text messages and stuff, $600, and yes, they let him go. What? Don't trust the Orange County Police.
The deputy tells the family to contact the sheriff's office if they hear from Miya. But as far as her loved ones are concerned, the investigation into Armando Caballero is just getting started.
Next, the family kind of takes over the investigation for the cops.
I don't think anybody's going to ever put in the efforts and the attention that a family member will put in.
I'm telling you, a family, they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm telling you. They're not going to just sit around. They're going to do what they got to do. They will, especially a father. I'm telling you that. All right, let's keep it going.
While some family members distribute flyers around town, others drive to nearby Castleberry to spy on Armando.
They were all ladies. They
let's go.
had already gotten Armando's address and everything from when he was there that night. So they decided to do their little investigation on their own and drove over to his complex. I didn't know that they were going because that's not something that the guys in the family would send the ladies out to go do by themselves.
Hoping to prove his involvement, the women record their observations.
Why haven't they gone into his apartment? Why didn't they search him?
Not long into their stakeout, they get exactly what they were hoping for.
They see Armando taking items out of his car and into his apartment. And one item of interest, it was a pink blanket.
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
My mother was the one who purchased that particular blanket for me.
Yo, nah. Don't, bruh. If you, son, if they saw the blanket and they showed us the cops, I swear to God, if they knocking on his door at that very moment to at least question him, taking that to the state, yo, what? Now he definitely did it.
They contact the police, but now all of a sudden they're no longer in the Orlando area. They're in Seminole County, and they have to call the Castleberry Police Department.
Before Castleberry police can get there, however, Armando leaves. The women had called other loved ones who decide to follow him themselves.
Damn, they got the whole gang out there, bro. Yo, that's crazy.
While I was on my way to his house, I saw him as he was leaving, and I started to tail him. And he drove to another friend's house. And when they pulled into that friend's house, that's when we blocked them in. And we came out the car and approached them again and told them, family was just there. We saw the blanket, everything. He told us that he didn't know what we were talking about. He was saying that he has nothing to do with Miya and he doesn't know where Miya is and, why we harassing him. Is basically what he said.
The family calls Castleberry PD. They respond.
They said that they couldn't go inside because they didn't have any warrants or anything like that. But if he's allowing someone to go inside, they're willing to go inside.
Armando says he has nothing to hide and surprises everyone by agreeing to let one of Miya's friends search his home instead.
The friend went inside, did a search, and the blanket was gone.
Damn, he's slick. Where the hell he put that blanket at? That's crazy.
In my mind, I already knew that we were not going to find the blanket there because his roommate was already at the house. He already knew that by then we were on to him.
The first 48 hours are the most important in any missing persons case. And Miya Marcano's family is determined to find her before it's too late. Unfortunately, their only suspect, Armando Caballero, is staying one step ahead of them.
At that point in time, I was just looking for the answer. And if he was the person that had her, I just wanted to find where Miya was. I felt like she was in danger.
What they need is solid evidence to convince police to take them seriously. So they ask Miya's property manager for security camera footage from the day she disappeared.
The only place that there were security cameras were primarily at the front office. There were no surveillance cameras throughout the apartment complex.
Fortunately, there are other ways to track employees' movements.
Everything in the apartment complex is pretty much controlled by key fobs.
The key fob contains chips with unique codes, which are recorded whenever they're used. And those records give Miya's loved ones a much clearer picture of what happened the day she disappeared.
When Miya gets off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, about 5:06, she ends up entering her apartment. But the door doesn't lock, the double doesn't lock on it until about 5:12. So there's about 6 minutes of a delay before that happens.
And let me guess, the way they got these key fob reports is by the family. The police didn't do anything. This is crazy.
Stranger still, a different key fob gained access to her apartment half an hour earlier at 4:34 p.m. And that key fob belongs to the building's maintenance man, Armando Caballero.
Got him.
Because Armando's a maintenance worker.
Got him. And he's a maintenance worker. He probably got the master key joint. Got him.
He has access to key fobs. And on an emergency basis for like overnight calls and stuff, he has access to key fobs in the building that will get him pretty much anywhere he wants to go.
That allowed him access into every apartment. We were in disbelief to believe that a person would have unfettered access into a tenant's apartments.
Within the past week, he had to fix a leak that was in her apartment, but there's no current work order. He had no business being there.
There's no record of anyone opening the front door after 5 p.m. But that door isn't the only way in and out of the apartment.
Mia's window was located in her bedroom. That was like at the back of the complex. For someone like a maintenance employee who's there every single day, he knows the blind spots throughout this apartment complex. He knows where he can kidnap someone and go unnoticed.
Mia's family immediately takes this new evidence to Orange County Police. This time, authorities open an investigation and review all the evidence.
About time. About time. It took them, I'm telling you, the family had to get all of this evidence in order for them to open up investigation. That's crazy. About damn time. I bet you mad months has passed. About damn time. Jesus Christ. Just to open up what the man? Listen, and I bet you he probably by this time he probably took a plane and left. That's crazy.
The detectives, in piecing everything together, were able to determine that Armando made it to her apartment. He called it a fake maintenance request, waited for her to come into the apartment when she got off of work, which she did. They believed that once she entered, that there was a fight and a struggle, which would explain some of the jewelry on the floor, some of it broken, the bed frame being displaced, that he bound her, the window that was open, that the lock had been taken off, the dad had put on, faced a back area of the complex that wasn't frequented by people. So it would have been relatively easy for him to get her out of that window without people watching him do that.
Damn, and he did all of this just because she rejected him. All of this happened because he couldn't face the fact that she rejected him. Damn, bro. Are you serious? That's crazy.
It's enough for detectives to obtain an arrest warrant, but not for kidnapping or murder yet.
When the judge signs this arrest warrant for burglary, everybody's aware of what the potential this could really become. We very well may not just be talking about a burglary, we maybe ended up talking about a homicide.
But when police get to Armando's apartment, he isn't there. His roommate says he left earlier that day and didn't say where he was going.
At this point, Armando's on the run. He knows that the cops are looking for him. They've got an arrest warrant for him.
What I told you, he probably fled the. He's probably in the island somewhere.
And he's off the grid. They can't find him. Now, the cops are also looking, for her. They have cut warrants for cell phone data for both Armando and from her. They've even gotten to the point to where they've pulled GPS data for Armando's vehicle, trying to pinpoint maybe, where he went.
Orange County Police put out a statewide alert for Armando, and the search begins. Several hours later, police in nearby Seminole County respond to an emergency call at another apartment complex.
They tell the cops to come out because they found a body inside.
Is it Miya?
The cops show up, building's locked when it's normally unlocked. They gotta break the lock, get inside, and they have a male who has hung himself, and it ended up being Armando.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So he didn't run away to the islands or anything. He just basically unalived himself. Yo, all of this because Shorty said no. All of this, bro. There's thousands of other women out there, and you couldn't. Damn. All right.
His cowardly decision feels like a final attack on Miya and those who love her.
It has just become so much harder for us to find Miya. That's all that was running through my mind. How are we going to find Miya if the person's responsible for her disappearance is no longer here?
I'm just trying to, rationalize and think that maybe that's why he decided to take the easy way out and commit suicide, because he knew that we were onto him and there was nowhere to go. For me, I still had hopes that Miya was still alive.
We knew we had to move extremely fast because Miya was missing on September 24th. It's now September 27th. And we're like, how long could she go without water? How long could she go without food? We're calculating all of this. And we know that there is a sense of urgency and we have to find Miya right now.
The search for Miya Marcano has been derailed after the prime suspect in her disappearance, Armando Caballero, killed himself. But Mia's loved ones aren't about to give up now. If she's still alive, she might not be for long.
After it was announced that Armando Caballero had committed suicide, our search for Miya intensified, and the family's search for Miya intensified. You did not hear anyone saying, we have to return to work in 2 or 3 days. What I heard was that we are not leaving Orlando, Florida until we find Miya. It doesn't matter how long it takes. This is our home, and we're going to all be in this until we find Miya.
Facts. That's basically what a family should be doing. A family should be moving heavens and earth to find their loved ones. Yeah, go right ahead.
The family took it upon themselves to actually privately hire a canine to assist in trying to find her, because remember, we're frantically trying to find, where she is.
And yo, this family did everything. This family did the investigation. They even bought their own canine, bro. And the police couldn't do that. Nah, bro. Yo, this police is incompetent, bro. That's crazy.
Search and Rescue of Central Florida is a volunteer organization of canine handlers and canines. It's all about closure for us, and it's all about bringing closure for the families and also certainly for law enforcement. But it's basically trying to find a needle in a haystack in many cases.
By October 2nd, Miya has been missing for a week. But her family holds out hope as searches continue.
Every morning I would call the detectives and try to get them to give me a briefing as to where they are in the investigation, did they find anything, any new leads. And that particular Saturday morning, I think I called them and no one answered. But then when the detective called me back, he said, "How soon can you get here?" When I pulled up to the sheriff's office, they told me to drive around to the back. I come out the car, and the detective comes up to me and he says, "Oh, we got to tell you that the search party is out there today, and they found the body, and they think that the body that they found is that of my daughter." My knees buckled on me.
Damn, bro. Damn, that has to suck. God damn. All right.
Detectives explain that earlier that morning, a search party combing the woods near an apartment complex where Armando used to work had made the heart-wrenching discovery.
You could tell that her hands had been bound behind her back with tape. Her feet had been bound. The tape was very similar, if not identical, to the tape that law enforcement found that Armando had in his possession and that he had access to through his work.
Some believe he killed her to pay her back for turning him down.
Yo. What? Nah, hold on.
As police dig further into Armando's background, they discover this wasn't the first time he sought revenge for being rejected.
Armando Caballero had actually had an incident with another tenant at an apartment complex that he allegedly worked at. He offered this young lady out on a date. And when she refused to go out on a date with him, he threw weights through her window. So this was a guy who was a predator. This was a guy who we believe that he was getting jobs at apartment complexes just so he would just have the opportunity to just prey on young women.
Yeah, my man had a hit. Hold up. Wait. I gotta do it. Wait. My man had a history. Yo, that is crazy. And they didn't do background checks on this guy when they hired him for the apartment complex. Come on now. Are you serious? That's I don't know. That's a little crazy. But anyway, damn. What y'all think? Yeah. What y'all think about this? This is kind of heavy. If y'all live in apartment complexes, watch out for the maintenance man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. Peace.